Trading is often about inner circles, and I've been trading for 10 years, so my inner circle have been testing various different scripts and indicators over that time to really just reach one conclusion. And that conclusion is the Signaler bot. I switched over to this probably about a year ago based on what my community said, and it's honestly one of the best things out there. So, none of this is financial advice, but without further ado, let's dive in to the Signaler bot and the results it gives. So here we are in TradingView right here, and you can see the indicator I've got up is the Signaler bot. Now, this is a very simple but effective indicator that takes advantage of trends, allowing you to make ridiculous amounts of money in trending markets or just in short-term trends, as we'll get to in a minute. But I just want to show you guys the results this gives and why it really just makes trading super easy, and say, hey, we've got a breakout, let's get into the trade, and then we're going to have our stop loss coming up. And if we hit the stop loss, that's okay because we've made a bunch of money. So let's talk about exactly how this thing works and how you can benefit from it like I have. So here we can see a long signal right here. That's at 64,000, and price actually went up all the way to about $90,000 before it actually hit our stop loss. But what determines the stop loss and what determines the entry point? So you can see a red line here and a blue line. When price gets over that red line, then essentially it's going to give a long signal. And from that point, you should be looking to get into a trade towards the upside based on this long signal here. Now, as you take this trade, you're actually going to have a stop loss that you update every few days or hours. As you can see here, that stop loss will be this blue line, in which, yes, we will just be changing that day by day to get that to a point where it's a profitable trade. Now, the reason why this is so good is because if we break out in a direction, very unlikely we're going to hit that stop loss. And if we do, then we know it's a false start, and that's absolutely fine. If we get a false start like we saw in these three examples here, that's okay, because the long that actually came in gave us way more profit than we would have lost in this sideways market. So as you can see, it gave us the long signal here. We would have just been banging in our stop loss, changing that every day until it reaches the 90K area. Price eventually comes back, we enter another sideways period. We hit that stop loss, and that is where we would close the trade. But if we are looking in terms of profit here, we can see just from that entry point to the close point, you can see 38% in profit over a few months. Now, comparing that to any normal traditional finance thing, you're barely going to be beating inflation with 6 to 10% here on what you might get in traditional finance. Whereas if you just follow a simple strategy like this, you can see we made nearly 40%. We would have made a lot more if we just took profit along the way up to 100K anyway, like I did. But yeah, if we were just to get in the trade when we get that notification and then get out of the trade, and once it hits the stop loss that we've been updating, we could make 40% very easily in that case. Now, what about if it flips short here? So we've talked about long. If it gets over the red line, we get a long signal, and then we move our stop loss up as it goes along the blue line. Now, with shorts, it's the complete opposite. So if we break this and we close a candle underneath the blue line, it's going to go short. Then we're going to have our stop loss on the red line here. Now, what's important is actually getting in the trade, but not just leaving it like we did here, but actually taking profit along the way around major pivot points. Now, a major pivot point here for us, once we got in this trade, we should have been targeting roughly around this area where price started to slow down and momentum started to slow down. And just to be safe here, we would actually use the previous blue line as our support level. We would just look for a take profit around 78K, this kind of zone. And as you can see here, we would have hit that for a very clean 13% on that trade. Now, that's how you would do this on the daily. And if we do scroll out, you can see very easy to get massive gains when this does happen. You can see bang all the way up here. This percentage gain in itself here, guys, was ridiculous, just taking profit along the way. I mean, the first time, if you'd have hit that stop loss, it would have still been 40%. If you'd have re-entered here on potentially a smaller time frame, could have been up to 100% profit just from this swing alone. Now, that is on the daily, and one thing to take into account here, guys, is the higher time frame you use, the better results you will get with a indicator like this. So we can see here on the weekly, bang, that initiated our bear market here in 2022. Ridiculous gains to be made in a short on that zone. So you can see a 50% gains, very easy. Now, on the weekly here, we would have got in around $23,000. We would still be in the trade because we wouldn't have hit our stop loss. But from that point to where we are right now, guys, if we were to hit that stop loss of 64K, that's 172% in the gains. Now, this works with Bitcoin mostly, but it can be good on other assets such as gold, such as Ethereum, and any of the big major altcoins as well here. But let's go down to the 1 hour and just see how this looks on an hourly. You can see, yes, the sideways price action could be quite quite daunting, but as long as you get in and take profit here, you should be able to make pretty decent gains just simply by following this and taking profit at important levels here. So we can see along here, if we'd have targeted this previous level that we broke down from as a take profit, I mean, we're talking about a very, very clean 2% here on that trade. Now, it might not seem like a lot, but if you were to take 2% and compound that every single day, you're going to be a millionaire within a few months very easily. So that is why I use this indicator more than anything, because it is just super clean, very easy to follow. And let's actually talk about how to get involved with this. You can actually get involved with this for free on a free trial for a day. And then once you've made your money, you essentially just buy the subscription and then you've got it for life, just grinding that balance up. So this is the Signaler bot. Definitely check it out in the description if you want that 1-day free trial. This is the only place you can get this free trial. So definitely do that. But what you would do here is select 1 day free, and then it's going to ask you for your TradingView username. You type that in, and then your free trial will be activated, allowing you to add it to your TradingView chart. So the way you add it from that point is make sure you are on the right account, of course, but then go up to this indicator section here, and then scroll down to invite only scripts. At this point, this is going to be where all of your invite only scripts are. Find the Signaler bot, as you can see here, tap it, and then it will be added to your chart. And just to show you how this strategy works in terms of profit, we can see this massive chart here skyrocketing towards the moon, and this is all of the trades it's done over the past few years. As you can see, very, very consistent but effective profit coming through on this chart. So yes, over the last few years, you could have made ridiculous amounts of money from a very small starting amount. Now, the results kind of speak for themselves, as you can see here, but what's important, as we've talked about, is to definitely use the higher time frames, such as the daily, rather than actually going down to a 5-minute or something like that, right? A 5-minute could be good, as you can see here, but you're just going to get much lower percentage swings, in which if you were on a daily, I mean, you could be in an upwards percentage swing for literally a few months here and just watch as your profit grows. Now, in terms of setting this up for alerts, super easy to do so here, guys. All you got to do is find the indicator here, press these 3 little dots, and then just press add alert on the Signaler. Make sure you're on the right time frame, because that's what this will be set to, and then you can see this screen will come up here. So from this point, all you got to do is just press create, and then it's going to be added to your alerts section. Now, I can bring this up on the right hand side. You can see my alerts there. Now, whenever this asset actually goes over this red line, I'm actually going to get a signal here. So once we close the candle above 97k, I will get a signal to go long, in which we follow the signal. We set the take profits up here at the nice pivot points, as you can see there, and then we set our stop loss at wherever the blue line is once this flips. And that is as simple as it gets, and that's how you can use the Signaler bot, like I do with my inner circle, to make ridiculous amounts of money, particularly in bull runs. Now, don't forget that this will be working on other assets, but you're going to have to check yourself which one that is. If you aren't comfortable doing that, definitely just use it on Bitcoin, because this is something that is proven. You've seen the results here on this video, and I swear by it, guys. Honestly, this type of indicator works far better than RSI and other indicators out there, simply because it's done by levels and trend, and you can catch really, really good breakouts from doing so. That's going to be it for this video. Definitely check it out in the description, and I will see you in the next one.